Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwantner for Sales 2.0.
I'm Bob Jurik, Voice of the Revenue.
What is Voice of the Revenue?
Voice of the Revenue is taking the perspective of looking at where the company makes money. You have all the employees of a company, sales forces and whatnot. Who pays their salaries? You know, who pays the directors, the board of directors, their company? It's the customers. It's where the revenue comes from.
Money talks.
Money talks. So I'm looking at it from a perspective of the voice of the people who make money for the company and what they want, what they feel, who they're willing to give it to, and how much and when. So that's more like that.
So, money talks, but also people talk.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain to me the difference between social networking and customer experience management?
Sure. In social networking, it's an environment we're very familiar with, Ed Lynn and Facebook, where you go into the community, you put your name, your credentials, your background, and then you talk about other people, you invite other people into the network. So social networking is something that's contained about a person, and it actually invites other people to join the network, which makes the community bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's been working very well. On the money side of the fence, in the communities that we're talking about, it can be two things. One is a confined community where you have invitees. You invited people to join your own specific community, and their objective is to participate in feedback to help that company do better things, make better products, how to improve their revenues, their profits, and customer services and loyalty. So that community is more confined, to the point where you also have the ability of inviting people into that community as well. So if they're invited into the community, for instance, picture a home page, and on the home page is Join Our Executive Community. You click on that button, it asks a series of questions. And what it's doing is finding out more about segmenting, where you're going to be into this community, where you fit, where maybe you don't fit, and then you get accepted into this community. And part of that acceptance into the community, you have some rules and oblations. One is to be polite. You have peers, you have your people in this community that respect you, that your information is important. And then also we expect you to participate in community. And we're going to share with you within that community how you are faring against other people in the community. So it's very confined, very organized, very methodical. And when that community builds, you're able to extrapolate all the qualitative and quantitative information from that community to help you drive your business decisions. So it is different than a social community.
So there are two issues that I see. One is who is going to monitor the community to make sure that it's clean and at a high level. And secondly, how do you go about harvesting the intelligence that comes as the community builds?
Good question. The first thing is the monitoring of the community is done by the company themselves. Now, there'll be specific outside consulting firms that help them build a community. There are tools that build a community. But once that community is built, there's an administrator who's actually monitoring all the communications that's going on in the community. That's important. You just can't leave them on their own out there. They have to be monitored. They has to be constantly building and growing and evolving. And a community, once you put people into segments, for instance, suppose you want to segment your community by geographical areas, EMEA, PAC Rim, North America, South America, and Canada. You put them on panels. So within your community, you have set up specific panels. On that panels are people who want to contribute regarding their own information in a geographical area. You can send surveys to these people. I'm the Vice President of Marketing. I'm the CMO. I want to know in the Canadian South American market about a specific change in our product doing with language. I want to know how it will affect the Canadians and South Americans. So I can go out and send a survey up to these two panels within my community, and then within a couple of days I'll have all the answers I need to help me make a better business decision. So as the community grows, you can segment the panels. Now, say I set up a global panel within my communities that says, okay, here are the topics of discussion. Anybody want to talk about pricing? Anybody want to talk about product differentiation? Anybody want to talk about color or whatever it may be? And then people on different panels would join into that community right there and discuss about pricing and only pricing, and that panel only about color of the item. When they start talking to each other, we can set up Web 2.20 tools, your IMs, your blog spheres, your panel communications. And while they're communicating to each other, there are tools to extrapolate that information, read it, do analysis on it, and report it on the fly. So unbeknownst to the people in the community, all that information is being extrapolated.
Do you restrict reports or make it available to everybody?
You restrict reports. The reports are available to the company. They own the information. That's a good question. What happens is, what you want to do is give some of that information back to the community, and that's a community portal. So within the community, you can bring up a topic saying, here are the topic of discussions, here's where you personally ranked against other people topics and ranges of issues, and then not only that, here's what the company did based on your community's feedback. We changed this, we altered this, we added this, and it's coming out in the next release of our product and services. So the people in the community are getting the feedback. The stimulus response is very high. That's the thing you don't get into a social network. But in this community, it's very controlled.
How do you get the community sort of kick-started in the beginning?
You have, there are a lot of panels, so to speak, now. have people on executive panels or roundtable discussions.
Right.
These are the people now. You do it electronically. You
Right.
have them join us electronic panel into the community. So it's just moving them from one paradigm to
And
the
what are
next.
the limitations?
There are none. Size is not a limitation.
Does it eliminate a customer focus group?
In a way, it could eliminate a customer focus group. What you're doing now is adding more to the focus group. You're adding more potential global. You're going global.
So what you're saying is people collaborate better, you get richer content, and you get more out of the community.
Absolutely.
Right. So it's a more productive way of operating a business.
Very much so. Big difference in a social network.
I want to thank you, Bob, for sharing the
Thank you.
information.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.